like to call to order the meeting of the Allegheny County Board of Education for October 15th, 2024. Please stand to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Mr. Llewellyn, we need a reading of the closed session summary for September 10th, 2024.
The Allegheny County Board of Education met in closed session on September 10th, 2024 at 4 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with legal counsel and engage in administrative function. All 5 board members were present, and the vote to go into closed session was unanimous. The topics discussed in closed session was ground lease assignment and assumption agreement and consent, and a MPIA dispute/mediation.
Next thing on the agenda is the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Ms. Bender?
Second.
Ms. Lepley? Any questions? All those in favor? Approved. Next is the superintendent's report. First thing,
Mr. Matthews, come on up.
So the board, we have a proclamation for you, Mr. Matthews. During the school year, our fleet of buses cover millions of miles, operate in a variety of weather conditions, and have an outstanding safety record despite the ever-present challenges they face. So Maryland is wanting to recognize all of our transportation departments, and the Board of Education of Allegheny County would like to express our deep appreciation to these valuable employees and commend their good work on behalf of the children. So we proclaim October 21st to 25, School Bus Safety Week, driving safely into the future. Here's your frameable copy.
If I could just take a moment, I want to thank the board for this recognition, and I accept it on behalf of everyone in our transportation department. The safe transportation of our students requires many different people, and sometimes I like to think of as many players on a team with many different roles and responsibilities. They include driver, bus aide, contractors, mechanics, school administrators, students, obviously, parents of students, and board members. When you have buses on the road from Luke to Little Orleans and Frostburg to almost the Paw Paw Bridge, we're faced with a lot of different challenges on a daily basis, which we try to meet as best we can, with our goal always being to be better the next day. So again, I thank the board for this recognition and accept it on behalf of the department. And if I could close by saying this, if you're here tonight or watching or listening and may be interested in being a school bus driver or even might be interested in being a school bus driver, please call our office. Maybe you can't commit to being a full-time 5-day-a-week driver, but maybe you can fill in as a sub a day or two a week, or an afternoons only, or just be on call when the need arises. Substitute drivers are very much in need as well. Again, thank you.
Mike, I want to take a minute just to thank you with your leadership of the first year. I know you've been an assistant over there for years, but it's been so smooth transition. That's a tribute to your leadership and your department and all your drivers. So congratulations to everyone in the department. And I do want to share with everybody next month, Mike will be back to go over how we make the decisions with bad weather. So the public and everyone will know that at their next board meeting. It's not all that, it is complicated, but at least the process doesn't take us too long to share the process that we go through. So thank you for all you do.
thank you, Mike. Next is the Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
I am Jill Frediska. I'm the chairperson of CCAC, the Allegheny County Special Education's Advisory Committee, and a mother to a child with an IEP in 6th grade at Braddock Middle School. I'm here for our annual presentation and to present some awards. Okay. The mission of CCAC is to provide information to develop knowledge, attitudes, and skills needed by families, educators, other professionals, and community members to enable individuals with disabilities to have the maximum opportunity to become fully participating members of their home, school, work, and community. The vision of CCAC is to facilitate communication and collaboration between families, educators, administrators, and community leaders to enhance services available for students with disabilities and advocate for positive changes in special education services within the Allegheny County public school system. Membership guidelines are you must live or work in Allegheny County, and it can include parents or guardians of students with special needs and requirements, persons with special knowledge or interest concerning special education, students with special education needs and requirements, local special education support or advocacy groups, teachers, staff, and administrators with an interest in special education. We meet virtually once a quarter, so we've already met once this year on September 9th. We have 3 more meetings, December 9th, March 10th, and June 9th. And you can find out more information about us on our Facebook page, as well as updates and meeting reminders. Okay. Last year we started the CCAC Shining Star Awards, so this is our 2nd year. And this is to recognize those individuals from last school year, the 2023 to 2024 school year. We took a survey, and it was a survey that was sent to parents of students with IEPs, as well as teachers and other school administrators, to have them nominate those people that they thought go above and beyond for this population. We got 64 responses, nominations for administrators, teachers, service providers, and support staff. And the praise was really outstanding for staff amongst all schools. It was really hard to choose. We chose 6 winners this year, 2 from elementary, 2 from middle school, and 2 from high school. We have 4 of those winners here tonight, and they will receive a $100 gift card and a certificate. Okay, so we're going to start with the elementary school award winners. After I present the award winner, if they would then come up to receive their certificate. 2 of them are not here, but I'll accept that on their behalf. Okay, first up is Deborah Frankenberry. She's not here tonight. She has retired, so she's probably off enjoying the finer side of life. But we didn't want to, just because she retired, not recognize her for her outstanding achievements. She had several people at Westside Elementary nominate her for this award, and these were some of the things they had to say about her. Ms. Frankenberry has worked for decades in special education within Allegheny County. She goes above and beyond while trying to service students with IEPs, including hosting small groups during her own lunch break or meeting with students before school. She is always careful to explain all parts of the IEP to parents and teachers. She goes above and beyond in creating activities and supports for students. She is always trying to increase her knowledge in the area of special education, as well as being willing to implement new strategies to help students. They stated that she was extremely hardworking, very patient, and kind. She's a strong advocate for students with IEPs. She supports teachers in the classrooms to make decisions about accommodations for students and uses manipulatives with the students that make learning more impactful. They said she's an amazing educator. Quite simply, she gets results. She is flexible in her instruction, allowing her to reach students of all backgrounds and needs. She is data-driven, and her methods are truly impactful. She is passionate about her students' needs, and they constantly show marked growth after working with her. She has long been an unrecognized gem at Westside, and since she was retiring, it was the perfect opportunity to recognize her for all she has done for her students. So we thank Debbie. She could not be here tonight, but many outstanding years of service. Next up, we wanted to recognize Jessica Adelot from Cresaptown Elementary. She's a speech therapist who is nominated by several of the parents of the students that she works with. Some of the things they had to say was she is wonderful at her job, goes above and beyond when it comes to meeting the needs of her speech students. I cannot say enough good things about her, this parent said. My daughter had her in pre-K at Cash, and we were over the moon to see her come to Cresaptown. She makes IEP meetings more comfortable and brings them to a level of understanding, so I'm not so overwhelmed by the information being given to me. She has really helped our daughter with speech therapy, another parent said. Jessica is a breath of fresh air in IEP meetings. She focuses on the positives and explains everything clearly. She takes time to provide additional exercises to be completed at home to help parents continue the therapy in the evenings. It is clear she is passionate about her job and helping her students succeed. She is an outstanding speech therapist and always a friendly face in IEP meetings. For these reasons, we'd like to congratulate Jessica Adelot for a 2023-2024 CCAC Shining Star Award. All right, on to the middle school winners. We had 2 middle school award winners. Michael Oyer, who from Mount Savage School, he also could not be here with us tonight. I think he was coaching a sporting event. But we had several of his staff, the whole 7th grade team at Mount Savage School got together and nominated him. They were raving that he is an exceptional special educator who genuinely cares about the well-being and success of each of his students. He fosters an environment of trust and mutual respect in the classroom and demonstrates patience and understanding when working with students who struggle academically and behaviorally. He goes above and beyond to provide tailored approaches to help students succeed. He considers the needs of each individual student and is always looking for new and innovative ways to challenge his students. His dedication to his students goes far beyond what he is expected to do for them. Mr. Oyer makes sure that his students have what they need on a daily basis and always carries extra supplies. They also said that he is meticulous with his paperwork and he makes every effort to share updates about students and their needs with the teaching team. He's created a Schoology group for teachers to share specific information about each student and data on each student with an IEP. He's developed seating charts for each classroom that act as a quick reference for teachers and a snapshot of the students' needs and goals, complete with each student's pictures. The extra effort and complete dedication to his students made Mr. Oyer a great candidate for the 2024 CCAC Shining Star Award. Next up, we would like to recognize Justin Jones from Washington Middle School. It appears that we chose an old picture of him, so he is here today, but you may not recognize him based on that picture. He was nominated by his fellow staff at Washington Middle School, who said that he works hard every day to ensure that every student within the special education department is given the proper attention required of their IEP 504 plans. He works tirelessly to ensure that every student's voice is heard and their needs are met. He is constantly being proactive about ensuring a student's needs are met in the future, and he works to ensure a plan is in place. He communicates with teachers on a daily basis and administrative staff to ensure everything is going smoothly. He works efficiently with all members of the school, and his supports allow students to come to school and be successful. Another person at Washington Middle School also nominated him, saying he is the SEF at Washington and goes above and beyond his duties as SEF. Besides doing his job of running all the IEP meetings, in doing the academic testing and completing all of the paperwork involved for those duties, he does so much more. He has several students he checks in with each morning and checks out with every afternoon. Justin is in contact with several families on a daily basis. He gives many of the students a safe place to take a break or an ear just to listen. Justin helps 2 8th grade boys who use wheelchairs for mobility use the bathroom 2 times every day. Justin is a calm presence and a sensible problem solver during stressful situations of all kinds. For these reasons and more, we're proud to present Justin Jones with the 2023-2024 CCAC Shining Star Award. And finally, on to the high school winners. Okay. Several staff at the Center for Career and Technical Education nominated John McKinney, as well as parents. They simply had to say he goes above and beyond for his students. His patience and dedications has changed the lives of many. An outstanding teacher goes above and beyond for the students. Yet again, outstanding teacher, dedicated to the special needs children. He is an amazing man who has worked miracles in his students' lives. He always goes beyond to make sure each one feels special and important. I wish all students could have a teacher like Mr. McKinney. He has brought my son so far, and I am forever grateful for him. For these reasons of being an outstanding teacher and more, we present John McKinney with the 2023-2024 CCAC Shining Star Award. And finally, last but not least, Abby Rader at the Center for Career and Tech Ed and Cresaptown Elementary, and currently she is at Allegany High School. She was nominated by several parents who had this to say about her. Abby has gone above and beyond to make sure my son has been successful in his regular ed and trade classes this year. She reached out beyond the school and to the electricians union to find out answers about my son having accommodations on the union test. Abby is a wonderful staff who truly has the child's best interest at heart. She is informative, organized, and professional while being kind-hearted. Her IEP meetings are flawlessly executed and timely while giving the parent the support they need. She answers all questions without even being asked because she is that good at delivering the best outcomes and goals for the students while utilizing her team to their full potential. I am thoroughly impressed by Abby and have learned so much just by being in her presence. My son and I were extremely lucky to have her as his staff at such an early age of the IEP process. And finally, Abby takes a true interest in her students, those from current caseloads and previous. She goes out of her way to interact with the students not only in the classroom, but when she sees them out in public as well. Often she attends events on her personal time just to show her support. She genuinely cares about the special education students in this community. For this and many other reasons, we're proud to present Abby Rader with the 2023-2024 CCAC Shining Star Award. And that concludes. I want to thank you for having us tonight, and for all those who made nominations and were involved in the voting. And just, I enjoy us getting to present this each year.
Ms. Fradisco, we just want to thank you for leading CCAC and especially shining, putting a light on some of our employees and being here this evening. To our employees, congratulations. As always, I'm never surprised. We have outstanding employees, and congratulations. And our students are very fortunate to have employees that we have here, and all of you go above and beyond. So just personally, I want to say thank you.
What a great job.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda is one of my favorites every year. Mr. McGowan has a report for the outdoor school, and I always want to hear how the food is up there. So, Mr. McGowan.
Let me begin with, please don't stand for me, Bob, all right? President Farrell, Superintendent Blank, board members, thank you for this opportunity to share some information on the outdoor school programs. Dr. Van Slyke couldn't be here tonight, so I'll be sharing a little bit on his programs also. But on Friday, we concluded a 6-week, very successful outdoor school program, residential, for our 5th grade students. At that time, we had serviced 605 students who took advantage of our program. But what makes our program work is not so much what I do or any of my staff does. It's the volunteers that join us and help us out. This year we had 129 parent volunteers, grandparents, and even a board member who spent the week with us. During this time, we cover every environmental literacy standard from grades K to 5 during our 12 lessons. In addition to the 12 lessons, they go on 4 learning hikes, including a beaver hike, the bog hike, a swamp hike, and a nature hike. When they come back from the hikes, we have what we call our activity period. This is where we get in the additional phys ed requirements here. We rotate through canoeing, fishing, and crafts. We eat our dinner, and then we go into our evening activities, which includes the first night of the week we have an outdoor movie night. And then we have the next night campfires down at the lake and camp stories built locally through the legends and that. Then we have Mr. Whitehead comes up for our music program. And then on the last night, we have what the children like the most, and that is the skit night. And then we wrap up with the Legend of Mr. Cunningham. So you can see through all these activities, we cover not just only the academics for the core subjects, but also for the fine arts also. So they get a good rounded week of education up there. And Mr. Farrell, the food was good this year, but it's not what we had in the past.
Oh my.
No, the cooks have retired and we got newer ones in. So they're learning like so many people do on the first time on the job. Okay, then moving to the middle school programs, the 6th grade program takes place at the Evergreen Heritage Center. It's a one-day program, and they anticipate 575 students participating in it this year. And what they'll do there is they'll study the states of the water and their water cycle. To study the water cycle and the states, they'll go around the camp and test water at various sites within the Heritage Center up there. And then they'll wrap up their time there with doing a STEM lesson where they build a boat that's powered by a balloon. The 7th grade program is a 2-day commuter program that's held at Rocky Gap, and they're anticipating 615 students participating there. At that time, they have 4 learning activities that they'll participate in. The first one is Alien Invaders, and this is assessing exotic invasive species. The second activity is Don't Get Sentimental. This is where they'll look at the runoff and the sediments. And then the third activity is called Water Canaries. This is where they're assessing benthic macroorganisms. Now, I know you're familiar with that, but just in case you're not, benthic macroorganisms are little things that live near or on the bottom of bodies of water. They're small, but large enough that we don't have to use a microscope to see them. So that's one of their activities. And the last one is, they call it the watershed, watchdog shed, which is a water sampling and evaluating and assessing the water quality throughout the Rocky Gap area there. The 8th grade program is anticipating 589 students, and this is where they'll look at the uses of energy and where they come from. And again, this is held at the Evergreen Heritage Society also. So if you have any questions, I can answer the elementary. I can't guarantee you I answer the middle school, but I'll get you answers.
I have a question for the elementary. How many years have we been, I'm sitting here.
This is resurrected in 2008.
But it goes back before
It goes
that.
back 1958, I think, was the first year that
Okay.
I think it was Jack Elliott took a group to downstate to a camp, and then he started back here and selected, and built it up to what it is today. And then it took a time off when we didn't have it, and then we built it back when Dr. Fred Sloan took the lead and got us going with it.
I mean, this is one of the events that students, I remember being in outdoors. When I go up to outdoor school, it just brings back all the different memories and the bog and the skits and the lessons. Lessons have changed, and obviously I don't remember everything, but when you talk to students, people who grew up in Allegheny County, they all have a memory of outdoor school. And as a parent, when your 5th grader is going to leave for a week, it's a whole different world. And then when they come back, you think they grew up. When they come back, you think that there's a a difference because they were there on their own a little bit. But what a neat experience for our students, and we thank you for your leadership keeping the outdoor
Thank
school
you.
going for our students, and Dr. Van Slyke with the middle school program.
One other thing, Champ Zumbrum has been working up there the last couple of years, and he has written a book on the history of the outdoor school.
Okay.
And he's going to send it in for your approval. Maybe we put it on the board webpage or
That'd be
whatever
great.
at that time. So he'll be sending it in here this week, he's supposed to.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
I just wanted to say that it was incredible. You guys do an amazing job. And I missed it when I was in elementary school because the program wasn't in place. But I got to spend the week there with my son, and all the kids had a great time. And jumping in the mud, they loved jumping in the mud during the bog hike. And fishing and canoeing. I know. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, Dr. Callbaugh, the 2024 class report.
Hey, good evening. So I'm going to give the class of 2024 report and then follow it up to talk to you about the post-CCR pathways. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide, or do you want me to advance it? Okay, it's a little hard to see. But we had, for the class of 2024, we had students accepted to 44 different colleges, universities, and technical schools across the country. Of those 577 graduates, nearly 40% of those students chose to continue their studies locally at Alleghany College of Maryland and Frostburg State University. And then our dollar amount for scholarships, it's still a remarkable number. Pleased with this, nearly $1.6 million in different types of scholarships. You can see the various types: merit, athletic, academic, and senatorial scholarships. So our students in the class of 2024 did a very nice job, and we just wish them continued success in their post-secondary education or college or the careers that they're going to go into. So we're going to move from there, and we're going to talk about some of the enrollment for this year in some of our programs. We're going to look at advanced placement first. This is our AP courses. And you can see the numbers. I kept 2 years in there so that you could see last year's numbers as well as this year's course numbers. Our numbers seem pretty strong in most of the areas still. You'll notice that AP US History has a low number this year, but that was because of a revision in the course sequence. So those numbers will pick up again next year, but those students that want to take that particular pathway, they have to have government and US history first. But you'll see that our numbers look really good there. And that's also the difference in the course sequence. You'll see the AP World History has a really high number this year. So a lot of those students are recognized in that enrollment number. Moving on to the next one, which is the dual enrollment. You'll see again the numbers for the 23-24 school year, and this year we still have really strong numbers, particularly in our college English, our college speech, our college algebra, and our college probability and stats. Those numbers are continuing to increase there, and they look really good as well. So our students really have nice opportunities for the college pathway for AP or for dual enrollment there. And so I do want to just spend a moment, take you to the last slide there, and talk to you about post-CCR pathways. This is part of Maryland's blueprint for the future. And so it outlines different pathways that students can have to become college and career ready. And so we offer 3 different CCR, post-CCR pathways. We talked about advanced placement. We offer that. We offer early college and dual enrollment programs. And then our third area is career and technical education programs. So part of the blueprint is the expansion of AP pathways for our students. We are really doing a nice job with the pathways we currently provide for our students in advanced placement, but we're going to expand those as part of the blueprint. And I'm really here to inform you tonight about the pathway we've selected to go forward with it. And it's called the Maryland AP option. And it's an improved pathway with an advanced placement for post-CCR students. And it really sets a high standard for students to achieve. For the Maryland AP option, students must take a minimum of 5 AP courses with 2 AP courses in the same content area, and 2 content areas must be included in that pathway. So a student must earn a C or higher in all the courses and a 3 or above on the exams. And students can earn the AP Scholar designation through the College Board if they meet those parameters. The supervisors and I have worked together to design 5 different pathways, potential pathways anyway. So we have designed a general AP pathway, a humanities pathway, a STEM pathway, a STEAM pathway, and then a career and technical pathway. And so at the end of the month, Dr. Thompson and Dr. Van Slyke are going to a meeting for MSDE to talk about what we've selected, the Maryland AP option, and to present the potential pathways that we have selected for the students. Now, we're still going to continue with the AP courses that we currently offer, and students do not have to be CCR to take those courses independently, the ones we offer currently. But if they want to be in the Maryland AP option, they do have to meet the CCR designation, the College and Career Ready designation for that. So we're pretty pleased about what we have come up with, and then we're just waiting for MSDE approval and want to make sure that you're okay with the selection that we've chosen for this post-CCR pathway. So any questions?
Dr. Caldwell, I wanted to share with everyone here, our students, when they graduate high school, because of your leadership and all the things we've done with instruction, they have the potential to earn, is it over 30 credits at this point? 34, is that right?
Yes, in some of our academic early college areas, they can earn above 30 credits. And then of course we have the PTech, which our students can earn their 2-year degree before they leave high school. We also have a manufacturing engineering technology where they can get in excess of 30-some credits as well. So part of what we'll be doing down the road here is working on enhancing that as part of the blueprint, which trying to add more relevant programs where students could potentially earn that 2-year degree while being a high school student.
And I've talked to so many parents that their kids have just gone away to school, and they're appreciative of the credits they were able to earn, not to finish necessarily early, but when they start school, instead of taking 18 hours, they might take 15. They can take a lighter load, and it's not a class in their major, obviously, but it's some of the requirements of the colleges, and they can get those in our school system before they go. It's been a huge benefit for our community and our students.
Yes, and thanks to all of you, we were able to implement the Bobcat Academy as a pilot for grade 11 students at Frostburg State University, and we currently have 8 students participating in that and taking about 15 credit hours each semester toward a degree. And so those 11th graders will continue, hopefully, through their 12th grade year as well. So really some nice different pathways that this district has been able to offer to our students.
And you continue to grow that. I don't know how many realize that, just with my own kids, how many credits they could get by the last child going through. There were so many more things that they could do. So it's great to continue growing as you have been with our instruction for our kids. So
Yeah.
thank you.
It's a really nice team effort, but all dependent on your approval of that. So we appreciate that as well. So thank you.
Next is the, Mr. Llewellyn, consider second reading of a homeless children and youth policy, JLG.
You have policy JLG in front of you. We're just adding language here for substandard housing. So the definition is what's being added here to bring us in further compliance with the McKinney-Vento Homeless Student Act. This is second reading, so if you pass it tonight, then it becomes policy.
I need a motion.
Move to approve second reading of homeless children and youth policy filed JLG.
Dr. Bond?
Second.
Ms. Lepley, second. Any questions? All those in favor? It's approved. Mr. Llewellyn, consider second reading of student registered sex offenders on school, JKCA.
This also is a definition change. We're adding the definition of juvenile registrant as defined in the criminal procedure article of the Maryland Code, and then Last time we reviewed the regulation where we went ahead and included juvenile registrant in the regulation itself. Again, this is second reading, so if it passes tonight, it becomes policy.
Thank you. I need a motion.
Motion to approve student registered sex offenders entry on school property, file JKCA, second reading.
Second.
Ms. Fraley, second by Dr. Bond. Any questions? All those in favor? It's approved. No one's signed up to speak, so moving to board and superintendent responses to constituents, none of that. Student board member, we're up to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I know for our Casey, our first GA is coming up. It's actually in 2 days, the 17th. We're gonna have a total of 5 workshops this time, centered around service, communication, and teamwork. It's going to be held at Mountain Ridge, and we're gonna have over 100 students predicted. So it's a really big turnout. We were only planning to have 3, but then we had to up it to 5 because we were surprised with how many students we had. Along with that, I was wondering if I could propose something, if that is okay. I've had a couple students, with everything happening in the world right now, wondering if we could have more lockdown drills. Possibly because I know I had a certain student from Allegany. She was very concerned about everything happening, and personally, I don't even remember the last time I've done a lockdown drill. It has been quite a few years, and even I have a concern for it. I think we definitely should have some more throughout all schools, especially in elementary schools, I think, because maybe they haven't had one in a while, and especially at their age, they should have some, so they know what to do. So just
I think
wanna
that's a
have
great
that.
idea. Great idea.
Yep.
Can we
Yep.
run that by Anthony? Maybe get that. I thought by state law we were supposed to have at least 2 a year, plus the 10 fire drills, but we'll get with Anthony and we'll get to work on that.
Yep, perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Board member updates.
Just real quickly, wanted to give an update that I attended the MABE conference over the past week, and there was a lot of great information that was shared, and we'll bring it back to the board to discuss things such as a cell phone policy and student discipline. So we're working on putting that into our policy committee and to be worked on, and there's a lot of information that can be shared from their website, the Maryland Association of Boards of Education website, as far as legislative is concerned, and that's definitely something that we all need to be part of, so that we can be on top of whatever's going to happen with the blueprint for Maryland's future in this next legislative session.
Thank you. Lori?
So Allegheny County had their first lacrosse tournament, and it was hosted by the Greater Garrett County Youth Lacrosse League, which includes Allegheny County as well, and it was at Greenway Avenue Stadium this Sunday. And there were 11 high school teams and 2 middle school teams. Our local high school teams and middle school teams are from Northern, Mountain Ridge, Allegany, Bishop Walsh, Mount Savage, and Braddock. And we had additional teams from Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. We had paid officials that came from across the East Coast, and everybody was really impressed with our facilities and the stadium. They were impressed with Cumberland and the food, so they like the stadium food. So we're looking to do that again next year and hopefully grow it, and it'll be much bigger.
Okay, can I add
Thank you.
can I add to that? We've received an email from the officials, as you stated, not from around here. And Brian, everyone knows Brian from Greenway Avenue. No one takes care of facilities. He's tough to beat. He's always there, always taking care of it. But it was a compliment of how welcoming and how he was there for them as soon as they got there, took care of it, and waited till they were done after the event and locked up so they could shower before they got on the road because they had a ways to go. So we appreciate the officials sending that email out to the principal and that being forwarded to his supervisor and everyone. So kudos to Brian, as always.
Anyone else? I do have one thing. I had the privilege of attending Annie Stark took her FFA class, 35 students from Allegany High School to Mr. T.R. Robinette's farm earlier, about 2 weeks ago, in the rain and mud. And Mr. Ben Williamson, who is one professor at Penn State, was there. He is the son-in-law of Mr. T.R. Robinette. Mr. Robinette's daughter, Jessica, also has a doctorate in ag science. She was there. And the children, let's say children, they're, high school students, they took 75 calves, ran them through the process. All the students participated. They all gave the calves shots. They all took fecal samples. They all changed ear tags. It was so impressive to see. I mean, I was just amazed at what the kids did. And they all, not one of them balked, not one of them had a problem. It was raining, muddy, nasty. They ate their lunch on the bus. I'd like to thank Mr. Robinette for his support of that and his family. The kids got great instruction. It was, I never in my life dreamed that these kids would be up there giving these calves shots and doing all that stuff, but they jumped right in. It was phenomenal. So with that, I was privileged to see it and be a part of it, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank him and his family for hosting that, and for Allegany putting forth 35 students to go down there, and that was phenomenal.
We won't let Mr. Farrell sell himself short, because I received a picture that morning of a friend that was there with him, of him in the stall with the cow, helping shove it where it needed to go, wanting to know why I wasn't in there doing the same thing. But I'm going to let Bob handle that in the future. That's going to be his day, and he can keep getting in the muck with the kids.
I've been in the muck with the cows before. I understand that. I had my muck boots on, and I was prepared for it. But on that day, you didn't say you were at Mount Savage that day viewing that.
I was able, last spring, Mount Savage came and treated us with a bottle of honey that they do on site, and I had not been there for the program yet. So Mr. Blank and I went, and they have a great thing going. We got to see the garden, pumpkins, peppers, they had a lot going on, but it was a little rainy, so we couldn't quite get in there too deep. We saw the beehives from a distance. Again, it was raining, but chickens, quails, they're selling the eggs for the community. The vegetables are available for the community. And is it Mr. Klein that I met with? He does a great job, and his classroom is something to see as well. It smells a little bit like a barn, but the kids love it, and it was a really good program to go see.
Well, since we're talking about agriculture, I just want to add on that at the fair this year, it was nice to see. I think I saw 5 or 6 FFA jackets that our students have earned, and I mean everybody, the staff. It was one of our goals when we first ran for the board, was to get the FFA programs back, and it's so nice to see the kids out there, just loving it and wearing with pride their jackets. So,
And it's growing.
absolutely, agriculture is a wonderful thing.
Okay, any others? How about a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Ms. Bender,
Second.
Dr. Bond, all those in favor? We're adjourned.